Alright, let's see what Iowa's all about. I have not turned many laps here. In the ARCA car, I did run an Xfinity race with some practice a few days ago, so I'm generally familiar with the line. You need to pay attention to the car being quite loose in the first 2 laps. Just going to ease it in here in the first lap. Taking it easy on the throttle here. Now, this is the trick. Depending on where you're going to run your brake bias, I would say is going to determine a lot about your how far you're going to back up your entry. And when I say back up your entry, I mean how soon am I getting off the throttle. Now, if you pay attention to my telemetry there on screen, you can kind of get an idea of what I'm doing. And the throttle control at this point, I would say, is pretty conservative. And you can see how little amount of time I'm on the brakes. I've got my brake bias back to 63%, and I'm running a 14:1 steering ratio. So I'm basically getting out of the gas, setting the nose of the car to rotate with a light amount of brake, and then slowing my exit till about this point, and then I'm back on the throttle. And you can see from my throttle input, I'm trying to save some tire wear here by not going onto the pedal too quickly. So I'm not stabbing the gas pedal. I'm slowly increasing my throttle until I'm almost out of the corner. Now, I like this center lane, plus or minus my lack of skill, because I find the top and the bottom lane to be very bumpy. But as you race, you're definitely going to have to go high and low, so just be prepared for some bumps. Kind of upsets the car a little bit. As you can see from my steering input, most of the corner I'm actually turning with the throttle. So once I set my steering wheel, I'm basically more or less in the same spot. I'm just using my throttle to control the rotation. Like I said, this is probably a pretty decent tire saving run here. I'm not going very deep into the corner. You can see I'm doing most of my braking before I get into the apex, and just trying to roll through the center. So I just want to talk about the low line a little bit. As your tires wear out and your straightaway speed starts to drop, you're going to be able to get down to the bottom a little bit easier, and it's a little bit quicker than sticking in that middle lane. This is also a really good lane to pass slower cars. There's a little bit of bumpiness coming down that low line, but once your tires are worn, you don't have to worry so much about the car getting loose. What you really want to pay attention to, especially if you're making a pass, is that on exit out of that low line, you're going to want to go right out to the wall for maximum speed, and there's usually a car there taking that space away. So it may take you more than one corner because you've got to make that pass, because you've got to remember that on exit you've got to give that other car a lane. So as you come out, stay in the middle or lower, giving him lots of room, and in a couple of laps, a couple of corners, you'll have that guy passed. So now we'll look at pit road. It's kind of a weird one. As soon as you see the Sunoco sign, you got to slow up, and then you've got to make a sharp left. Speed limit is 40 miles an hour. That's it. I hope it helps.